Hello again everyone. Today I'm going to make a box for these cards. These are going to be my birthday gift to my friend Jenny, who's going to be 90. Lots of thank you cards. So I'm going to make this box and I'd like to make it sort of kind of pretty. I'm going to use this board to help me. This is the Crafter's Companion Top Score multi-board. This side is the folds for if you're making card bases. This side is the side for box making. I've had a couple of these over the years because they got used such a lot. They started to split because a couple of the lines just here are kind of close together and it kind of split, but I wouldn't be without one of these. These are also the boards that I use if I want to do that nice embossed edge to a mounting piece of card. Okay, when you buy one of these multi-boards, it comes with a set of instructions, and because I had two over the years, I've had two sets of instructions, and they do vary. They have changed over time. I don't know which was the first, which was the second, but I use the basic box making instructions and kind of go from there. So they say that you can make boxes with a depth in multiples of 1.5 centimetres. Each of these is 1.5 centimetres apart. So you can have a 1.5 centimetre box, deep box, a 3 centimetre box, a 4.5 centimetre, and so on. So what you need to do to find out how deep you need to make your box is to find whatever the item is, put it up against this side here and see where it comes to. Well, I don't know if you can see, this one comes slap bang between 1.5 and 3. It's 2 centimetres. 2 centimetres deep is really the ideal size for this box, for these cards. If I made a 1.5 one, you know, they'd be pushing the lid off the box. If I made a 3 centimetre deep one, it would look like I hadn't put enough cards in. So I could do with a 2 centimetre box. So what I want to do is, instead of using this line here as my measure, I'm going to take a centimetre off. There's a 3 centimetre line. If I put a 1 centimetre strip in and put my card against that, you'll see later on the relevance of this. Then I can get my 2 centimetre deep box, because if you look between the edge of this strip and the 3 centimetre line, it measures exactly 2 centimetres, because I cut this with my trimmer, this one. And I like this one for cutting narrow strips because it's got measurements on the negative side. On my guillotine, you have measurements here, but there's nothing this side. You can't see exactly how much you're cutting off there. You could do it, and you know, working out from the other side, but I like this for that one. So obviously this is the way to do it. Pop it in, put the card up to the 1 centimetre on the negative side, make sure it's absolutely parallel, and cut. What I think I will do actually is to stick these two strips together, because that'll make a firmer edge for me to put my card up against. Let's just do that now. And I'm trying out this, which is Stix2 Anything 3D PVA glue in a narrow nozzled nib, if you call it that. Not quite sure what you call it really. Well, that looks pretty good, doesn't it? I was a bit puzzled at first what to do with the top, but I think you just have to pierce it. This plastic, when it comes, is solid at the top. But with these little pins, which you can buy also from Stix2 Anything, here they are. Little steel pins that just fit in the top, and they fit very snugly into the plastic part. So hopefully the glue should remain free flowing. So that's going to be a something to find out, and I'll let you know. Okay, I'm just going to stick these two together. So it's a bit deeper. Just make sure they're absolutely flush. There we go. There's my 1 centimetre strip that I can put in there. Okay, you'll see the relevance of that in a minute. Okay, now here's my card. I know I want a 2 centimetre deep box, so I need to find out how big it's got to be. All right, there is a formula for working out the size. So this is how you do it. First thing to do is to measure the envelope. So here I've got a ruler, and the length of this envelope is 16.2 centimetres, which is what I've written there, 16.2. The width is 11.5 centimetres, which I've written there. Ladies in America, if you can get a board like this, you know, brilliant. But presumably if they sell them in America, they're probably in imperial measures and not in decimal. Okay, now that would be just the size of the base of my box. It would be the exact size of this, but it needs to be a piece of card big enough with the sides to come up 2 centimetres on all edges. So we need 11.5 across here, plus 2 centimetres up here, plus 2 centimetres up there. That is 4 centimetres. Plus, it says in the instructions, you have to add an extra half a centimetre, 0.5. So the same will be valid for the length as well. So 16.2 plus 2 for this end, 2 for that end, plus a half a centimetre. So 2 and 2 is 4, plus 4 centimetres, plus a half a centimetre. Okay. Right. 16 and 4 is 20. 20.7. So the length of my piece of card needs to be 20.7 centimetres. That is the 16.2 plus 4 centimetres plus another half a centimetre. The width of it has got to be 11.5 plus 4, which is 15, plus the extra half, which will be 16 centimetres. So those are the dimensions of my card for my box. And you cut the base and the lid exactly the same size. How it works, I'll show you in a moment. Obviously, the lid has to be folded slightly wider in order to fit over the base. So let's just see. First thing is to choose my card that I'm going to cut my box from. And what I thought I would do is just print off a pretty piece of card for the top. Now, I printed a few this morning. These are watercolour, it says, watercolour images from PNG Wing. I call it Ping Wing. And I just printed off a few. And I've got a plain piece of card for the base. So let's just put that on one side. So thinking about Jenny and what I thought she would like, I think I'm going to go with this floral one. Okay, so from, oh, I do have a video with how to download images from, I call it Ping Wing, because the images are free. They're not really free. They're paid for by advertising. So there are adverts absolutely in every little space as you go through this website. And it's so easy to click on something, a download for something that's nothing to do with the image that you want. So you have to really be careful. Look at my video if you're not sure. And also I find the anti-robot thing that you have to click different things to in order to prove that you're not a robot. I find that a bit confusing, but it's in the video. So if you need it, I will put a link at the bottom of this video for that one. Okay, so here's my piece of card, and I've got to see kind of which bit would be nice for this. Maybe a bit of green and a bit of white. Let's just see. So my piece has got to be 20.7 by 16 centimetres, and I'm going to cut it with my guillotine this time because it makes a really lovely clean cut. So let's have a little look and see. 20.7 by 16. So this where's 16? 16 is, that is right on the cusp. Right on that cusp. I hope that's 16. Let me just see. I'm not sure. Let me just see. Let me try my other cutter after all that. Is it just at the end of the thing where perhaps this one's going to be the same? Yeah, it is. Look, 16's right there. Let's just have a look and see. Yes, it's right. It's right in that awkward place, isn't it? Is that 16 on the end of that thing? Oh dear. Let me mark it on the piece on here, just with a little bit of pencil. Where's my pencil gone? Isn't it right on the join? Trust me to want something that's going to be awkward. Okay, let's just... There's 16, that line. It's just past there, isn't it? Gosh. It's difficult. Anyway, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it right there. Right, there's my width. I think I'm going to be happy with that. Now, I think I would like this. There's a nice bit there I could put a label on. It'll be a bit higher, won't it? This is the width, and I want the length. 20.7, where does 20.7 come to? 20.75, 6, 7. I think that'll be okay, actually. I was wondering if I'd have to go 20.5, 6, 7, okay. 20.7, let's just cut this. Right. So that's the top of my box. It's pretty, isn't it? Really pretty. Now I'll cut the base. So I'm going to cut the base in exactly the same dimensions. So just make sure I go in exactly the same place. That is awkward, isn't it? Being right on the cusp. Okay, and 20.7, 20.5, 6, 7. There we go. So now I have two pieces of card which are exactly the same size. Okay, right. Get rid of the scraps. These are going to be useful for cards. Look, little tiny bits. That would make a lovely tag, wouldn't it, with a bit in the corner. Oh, lovely. Right, I digress. Now comes to the point where I'm going to be scoring. This is where my scoreboard comes in. And this is clearly marked. This side says box lid. This side says box base. So it's obvious which is which of these. This is going to be my lid. This is going to be my base. And I'm going to score on the right side. You always score on the mountain side, not the valley. So this is the box base. This is the box lid. Box lid's this side. I'm going to do the lid here. This is what comes with this board. I'm not too keen on it. I'm just going to use a regular bone folder. However, if I score here, I'm going to get 3 centimetres. If I score there, I'm going to get 1.5 centimetres. But I want 2 centimetres. So put in my shim. Now if I score on the 3 centimetre line, I will actually be scoring 2 centimetres into my piece of card. So there we go. 2 centimetres in. 2 centimetres in. Two centimetres in. And the final side, 2 centimetres in. Okay. Now I'm going to score my base. So I'm going to turn this round, because that's the way I like to work. Put this over this side. Put in my piece of card. Flush up against there. From there to here is 2 centimetres. So score. And turn. And score. And turn. And score. And the last one. There we go. Okay, now I've finished with my scoring board. I'll move that out of the way. Next thing to do is to cut the corners. So to do that, I'm going to cut up to the corner from along this line here and take out the small piece. That is so that it fits more snugly into the corner. So cut to the corner and take out a small piece. This little flap is going to be tucked underneath that one. Okay, same here. Cut up to the corner and take out a small piece. Up to the corner, take out a small piece. Same with this, exactly the same process. Up to the corner, take out a small piece. More difficult to see on this embossed, printed side. There we go. Got to move it so the light shines. See what I'm doing? Okay, right, the next job is to stick down these corners, but before I do that, I'm just going to give the folds a little burnish. So, fold in. Fold in. And fold in. You need, for sticking these down, some of this really strong sticky tape. I don't know what they call it. It's red tape or something. So those go in like that, and we can stick them down. So let's do it. If I can find the end. Here it is. Right. And when I do it on this piece right up to that edge. If you want to put a couple of pieces on, that's fine. You could put another one on a bit further down like this if you wanted, but I often just leave it to just the one, but it's purely personal preference. Okay, so the same on all the flaps. Let's put it right near to the edge. just do the one for the minute. And the last corner. The test will be in a moment to see if my envelope fits neatly into this base. There we go. Let's just take this off. Off you come. Might be better with a poker tool, mightn't I? Let's do it this way. There we go. One. I have to give it a good press to make sure it's actually sticking down. Oh, come on. Let's try a different corner. Haven't used any of this stuff for a very long time. Got quite a few in the corner, in the cupboard. Perhaps I should make some more boxes or use it for stuff that really needs a strong adhesion. There we go. One more to do, and then we can fold it in. There we are. Right. Fold it in. The edges should fit nicely together. It's the cutting that needs to be accurate, and you cut right to the point of that corner to get these two sides absolutely level. Looks a bit iffy if you don't have, you know, the edges meeting properly. Okay, there's my box base. Now, does my envelope fit in it? And my envelope fits perfectly. Okay. Put it that way, you can see it's an envelope. So you must remember that you have to add that extra ½ centimetre to the measurements when you've measured the whatever it is that you're going to put into your box. So fold over and burnish, fold over and burnish, fold over and burnish. Actually, thinking about it, the colours of this are quite reminiscent of the colours I used on the card that I made for it. And if you remember, perhaps I should have brought that in to show you. Never mind. But with a bit of gold ribbon or something, I think this should look quite pretty. Okay, let's put on some more of this tape. And why I put it near to the edge here is so that, you know, the corner is fastened right up to the corner. Makes the finish a bit better. I don't know if there are other box making, oh, what happened there? Just broke. Scoring boards, but I'm just thinking to myself, you should be able to use a regular scoring board to make yourself like a jig for one. I'm going to have a go at that. I think I'm going to have a go at that. That would be, I think that would be a good thing to do, don't you? To see if you can, you don't need a specialist. What I need to do is to look at my board and see what the difference in size is between the box base side and the box lid, the difference between the distance from the edge. I'll have to have a look at that in a moment, see if I can do it, because I think that would be useful for people if you found you could make a box maker out of a regular scoring board, wouldn't it? I'll have a go at that. I'll have to see. Oh, come off. My fingers are not as dexterous as they used to be years ago. Right, there we go. And fold and push in. And, oops-a-daisy. Seal, push in, and seal, push in, and seal, push in, and seal. So there we go. And this lid will fit very neatly over the top of my box. So hopefully, let's just see if all these letters, all these cards and all these envelopes fit into my, look at that, perfect, perfect. So there we go, a little label on there, or a nice bit of ribbon and a tag. There we go, a box of cards for Jenny. I'm just going to work out and see if I can do it with my scoring board now. So, hope you found it interesting. And thanks for watching. And I'll see you next time. Hello again, I'm back. I've been thinking about our American friends. I've just made this box for an envelope using imperial measurements and this Stampin' Up! Scoreboard. There's one problem in my estimation with this, in that the box lid is not such a snug fit as this one. Do you see? But I've come up with a cunning plan for that as well. What I did was this. I worked out a formula. I measured the card, oh sorry, the envelope, and I reckon it was 6 3/8 by 4.5-ish. So if I had a similar depth to that one, I reckon that was 1 3/4 inches deep. No, it wasn't at all. It was 7/8 deep. And I was adding 1/4 inch for the allowance. So 2 7/8 is 1 3/4. So that was what you would add on to make the dimensions for the card. And they were 8 3/8 by 6.5. That's those things add up. The length plus twice the depth of the box plus the extra 1/4 inch. The width plus twice the depth of the box plus an extra 1/4 inch. Okay, 8 3/8 by 6.5. So I cut my two pieces to those dimensions. But then I scored the first one at 3/4, I think it was, the next one at 7/8. But that difference is too much. 1/8 of an inch all the way around is too much. So I thought, we need a 1/16 of an inch. Would that make it difficult? And I thought, not necessarily. Because if you, first of all, started with, like I did before, a guide to that, and then measured your 7/8, whatever it is, from there, and scored with your piece of card up into this, and then put your next one in, which would be what's this, half an inch, an extra 1/16 would be 9/16, wouldn't it? So if you had this at a piece of card, 9/16, put it in, do your scoring up against it, the same mark as you used before as for this one, and it should work. You need to do a bit of maths, but I think it will work out. So you choose the length of your box, the width of your box. That was of these two. Then you add twice the depth plus 1/4 inch. So length times width, each one plus twice the depth plus 1/4 inch. And then use these things to be the difference between the lid and the base and score in the same place. If your depth is going to be 7/8, mark 7/8 from the edge of your thing, and that's where you score both. I think it should work. It's worth having a go. Give me full marks for trying anyway. I'll see you later. Thank you.